Coucou! Welcome to Prof Modern. My name is Wendy, or as my students know me, Madam Foz. In this video, I wanted to demonstrate all of the activities that I created for my first unit in my PreAP AP class. Now, a little bit of background information. My 3s and 4s are stacked in the same class period. So if you're a teacher that has a similar situation where you're teaching both levels at the same time, I believe that this video is going to give you a pretty good idea of how I use the same content and differentiate it so that it works for both levels. Before I continue with the description of my unit, I wanted to take this opportunity to mention that links to all of the things that I created for this unit are included in the description box of the video. So I started out by giving 3 and 4 a survey to gauge their comprehension of technology. Each question was pertaining to a different task they would be asked to fulfill virtually. So the survey they had to take was definitely 100% in the target language because they are in French 3 and French 4. So I wanted to use it as an opportunity not only to gauge their comprehension of technology, but then also to see where their comprehension of French ranged. And this was a really good opportunity to review and put into context the verb pouvoir, so where they're able to say whether they can or can't do something, je peux or je ne peux pas. So then I used the results of the survey to determine where the students' weak points were in terms of their comprehension of the types of tasks they were going to be asked to fulfill on Google and just using other types of technology. The majority of the class understood a lot of what I was asking them to do. There was one in particular where I had a good amount of students not know, and that was recording a video on Zoom. So I detailed the importance of gauging your students' comprehension of technology in a video that I created regarding the very first day of your Zoom class. If you would like to reference that video, I've included a link to that in the description as well. Creating a tutorial for how to record yourself on Zoom then felt like a good idea. So I created this Google Slides slideshow to walk them through the process, as well as how to upload their video onto their Google Drive so they could then attach it to an assignment. After I created the slideshow, I used Zoom to record myself presenting it to them. So it does kind of seem like a good amount of work, because not only did I make a slideshow for them to follow certain steps if they were unfamiliar with how to record themselves on Zoom, but I also felt that it was important to create a video where I then read the slideshow to them. Especially now where we're doing classes online, I believe that it's just more important than ever to give them as much output of the target language as possible. It isn't to say that everybody watched the video, but for sure, if they were not aware of how to make a video on Zoom, they kind of had to watch the video and then had that available output to them in the target language. So being able to visually see the French and then hear the French being spoken to them is something that I believe is just going to help them in the long run make sense of the language, and also make that correlation between what the language sounds like and what the language looks like. Because as a non-native French speaker, I speak Spanish and I use Spanish to help me understand French, but just knowing that difficulty in learning French, I just think it's important to put those two together, the visual and the auditory, as much as possible. I then posted the tutorial as part of their assignment for the day. The students were then asked to use the tutorial to create their own video on Zoom. The types of things that I wanted them to include in the video were entry-level things I felt French 3 and 4 should know by now, and then I specified what I wanted them to call their video. I included an example that I created myself, so they had something to kind of work off of. And as you can see, I had 18 students complete the assignment. Their videos all went into one folder. And here I differentiated what French 3 was going to do versus French 4. So French 3 only had to watch 4 videos total, and they had some pretty simple questions to answer regarding what the students or their classmates said. And the questions simply repeat. For every video they had to watch, I included some sequencing vocabulary. French 4 had to use some pretty specific vocabulary, and they had to watch 5 videos instead of 4 like French 3. I also wanted them to answer the questions in paragraph form since they are going to be asked to do a lot of higher level typewriting in French 4. Those were all the questions that I asked them, and then I gave them space at the bottom of the Google Doc to answer. So I also wanted to detail the timing of this unit. Between all of the things I required them to do, I believe it took about 3 to 4 classes. So depending on whether you're like block scheduling or you have classes every day, all of these activities would amount to about a week or a week and a half's worth of classes that you can schedule for your online. Finally, we have the culmination of all the previous activities. In the assignment that I posted, I gave them a link to the folder that had all of the videos contained within it, and then I attached the activity that they were set to complete in watching the videos of their classmates. I really loved this activity because not only did it give them a chance to review their French, but then it also gave them a chance to get to know the other people that are in their class through this virtual setting. Please feel free to use any of my materials. It might be a good idea to make a copy of it that you can then put in your own Google Drive, just because I believe that it will edit that one specific document unless you make a copy for yourself. As always, merci beaucoup for watching my videos. I really hope that you found my video helpful, especially teachers who are in a similar situation as I am, teaching French 3 and French 4 in the same class period. As being the only French teacher on my campus, I understand how difficult it can be to feel like you have to come up with all the stuff on your own. I am more than happy to help in any way that I can. I hope to see you back again for some more super awesome French content. Ciao! So in these unprecedented times of COVID, I feel that it is very important to make sure that we are supporting our local businesses. I wanted to give a shout out to the store that I bought this dress from. So it is a store called Lipstick Lille, and you can find them on Instagram at this address here.